Hello, it's good to see you. Today we are going to be making a Halloween themed wreath. We made one, I don't know if we did one last year. I think we did one the year before. And I used the one that we made last time. I used it last year and then I gave it away. So I don't have a wreath for Halloween this year. And for me, I love Halloween. I start putting out my decorations on October 1st. So I wanted to go ahead and get my wreath ready to go. And one thing I've noticed this year is that you can't really find a lot of Halloween wreaths. I found a few, but nothing that really jumped out at me. Like scare Halloween. There was one, I found one at Michael's that was really cool, but it was $70 and I didn't want to pay $70 for it. So when we were walking through Joann Fabrics and Crafts yesterday, I got to thinking, why don't I just make one? I mean, I make wreaths all the time. Why are you looking for one? Well, sometimes I want the one that's a little different from what I would make. So, but I couldn't really find anything this year. Nothing I really liked except that one that was too expensive. So while I was in Joann's yesterday, I got a bunch of stuff to make the wreath with. Fortunately, it was all on sale, which was fabulous. I found this mesh. This has nothing to do with it. I just thought it was beautiful. Look, it's burgundy. It is the prettiest burgundy mesh. I bought a roll of this. I don't really have a plan for it. I just thought it was pretty. I don't know, maybe I could work it into a Christmas wreath or something. I just thought it was really pretty. So, but I think all the mesh was, it might have been half price. But yeah, so I'm not going to work it into this. For this wreath, I wanted to add a lot of purple to it. I thought that would be really cool. And it started when I spotted this. We saw this and I showed it in the video yesterday. This beautiful mesh. Look how it blends. You have this pretty purple up here at the top. And then there's black down here. And then it fades into this orange down here. I bought 3 rolls of this. Now this is not like the mesh from Dollar Tree. I have a little bit of this left over. This is a roll. I know actually... this may not be Dollar Tree mesh. It looks a little too... it's not. Never mind. This is... pay no attention to that. Dollar Tree mesh, it's only $1. But when it comes to mesh, you really get what you pay for. And I've noticed just in the last year, their mesh has become a lot more... it's not as good. Like the quality of it has gone down. It kind of falls apart. The strings come out of it. But this mesh is a lot firmer. It's easier to work with. That's what she said. Yeah, it's better. But I really liked that cool design on it. I thought that was neat. I did buy some Dollar Tree mesh. I realized it yesterday. I was looking through my totes of wreath supplies, and I remembered that I did buy some Halloween mesh earlier at Dollar Tree. But I don't want to work it into this. I really like this better than when I bought at Dollar Tree. And these were $6.99, but I think they were half price. So $3.50. I mean, yeah, I think it's worth it. You do get more, definitely. But I really love the colors in here. And I was really looking at this purple right here. It's such a pretty purple. So we're going to have, I bought 3 rolls of this. And I'm going to use this up first. This is some left over from another project. And if I need it, I bought an additional roll of just the plain black mesh to go in there. And I bought a roll of just purple. I love that color. It's so pretty. So we have that. So that's our mesh for this. And they had the coolest ribbon. I want to show you this one first. This was my favorite. Look at this. I love it. It's like tree branches and you have these crows or ravens or whatever flying around. It's just the prettiest. I love that ribbon. It's so cool. So I got a roll. I got one roll of this. Now this is 2.5 inch ribbon. It's 2.5 inches wide. I always have some ribbon, about this width in the wreath. So I got that. And this is purple. It's kind of hard to see, but it's purple with black glitter spider webs on it. This is a wire edge ribbon, but in this kind of wreath, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to have a wire edge on it. In some projects that does matter, but not with this. And then I found this one. This is pretty. It's black with silver spider webs. These are all 2.5 inch rolls of ribbon. Look pretty. So I got that one. These were $6.99 each, but they were half price. So it's good. And so that's all of the wide ribbon. And then I always put in some skinny ribbon, like 5/8 inch ribbon. These are 2 rolls that I had up in the attic in my stash of stuff. I always love it when I can use some stuff I already had, because I have way too much up there. But this is just plain orange ribbon, 5/8 inch. This is gross grain ribbon. This is just plain fabric ribbon. This one is not 5/8 inch. It's kind of in between. This is 1.5 inch ribbon, but it's black glitter. I just thought this will add a nice little bit of sparkle to the wreath. Of course, the mesh, it doesn't really look like it, but this mesh is going to add a lot of sparkle to it as well. There is sparkle to this. There is a little bit of a shine. There is a metallic stripe that kind of runs through, and it's really going to shine. You'll see when we get it done. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's nice to add a little bit of extra sparkle with the ribbon too. So I got that one. These 3 rolls I bought yesterday at Joann's. This one has little skulls on it. I think this one is actually glow in the dark. I guess I'll find out the first time I put it out and when the sun goes down. And this one is just like a black ribbon with little white skulls. 5/8. These are both 5/8 inch rolls of ribbon. These were $3.99 each and were half price. Oh, and this one's cute. Look at this. It's orange with like a plaid pattern in red. These are all from Place and Time Halloween ribbon. I think that's it's a Joann thing. I guess it's just their little brand of stuff. So that covers the mesh and the ribbon, which are really kind of the biggest components of this wreath. I also went up into the attic and was looking for these little pipe cleaners. I found these 2 packs. I buy these big multi-packs like this at Walmart. You can get a pack of 100, they call them fuzzy sticks, 100 fuzzy sticks for less than $3. I think they're $2.88 plus tax. And you can there are different mixes. This one is just like not just primary colors, but they have this kind here with red, orange, yellow, blue, black, purple, white, and green. This one has some green in it. I must have used up. There's one green one in there. How did I leave one in there? You can get packs like this, but they also have packs like this that are pastel colors. Sometimes they'll have different mixes. The main 2 I see are this kind and the pastel. It's a really good deal to get 100 of these for less than $3. So anyway, I buy these multi-packs like this, and then I use different colors, and I'm looking at them right now and I'm thinking I was thinking about doing purple. What we might do is there are some purple ones in both of these packs, and they're also black. I'm thinking if I combine the purple ones and the black ones together, I think we would have enough to do the entire wreath. Now, when you do this kind of wreath, these won't show on the outside, but I just like for things to not be chaotic. So I like for when I look at the back of the wreath, I want the colors to kind of match the wreath if possible, which is why I like having all these different color pipe cleaners. So usually I can find something that will work. So when I look at the back of this wreath, if it goes the way I hope, I will have purple pipe cleaners and black pipe cleaners back there, and it will kind of go with the front. If I have to, I could use some of the orange ones, but I don't think we'll need to do that. I think if we just go with the purple and the black, we should have plenty to do this one wreath. I think that should be enough. So I always keep a stash of these around. And for a while there, especially last year when during the height of the pandemic, everybody was doing crafts and stuff at home. You know, everybody was at home with their kids. You could not get pipe cleaners. Like, I could not find pipe cleaners for probably 3 or 4 months. I couldn't find them anywhere. So when I finally did find some, I was very happy because I was running low. All right. So once you get your mesh and your ribbon, and you do your bundles, which I'm going to show you how to do, you get into and you put your wreath together. For this one, we're going to use a 14-inch wreath form. These are from Dollar Tree, and they're only $1, and they're great. This one actually feels a little bit more sturdy than they usually do, which is weird. This one feels more like one you would pay $7 or $8 for in a craft store. Sometimes when you get them from Dollar Tree, they're a little flimsy, like they might have come apart somewhere, you know, but they're only $1, so can't really complain a whole lot. They have different size wreath forms in Dollar Tree. Typically, these are coated with a dark green enamel. These are not coated. It's not really going to matter, though. This is not going to show at all when we get done. And you would think the wreath is going to be this size. It's going to come out to about here on the sides. It's gonna look a lot bigger when we get done. It's called a wreath ring, 14-inch wreath ring. And I stocked up on those too. That's another thing, especially around here. Maybe it's not this way everywhere, but you will go for a while and not be able to find these. So when I do find them, I usually buy 4 or 5 of them at a time, just to make sure I have some. But once you get all your bundles done, put them on your wreath form, you can get into the fun part of decorating your wreath. And I picked out some neat decorations for this wreath. Actually, I think all of these came from Dollar Tree. I looked through the ones at Joann's. They didn't really have a lot, and most of them were orange, like, you know, like pumpkins and stuff. I didn't really want to do that. I was looking more for like purple stuff. So there's a Dollar Tree right down the road from Joann's, so I went down there. And I found some neat stuff. You might remember these little spiders from the last Halloween wreath we did. I think we used these come in 3 colors. You can get them in purple glitter, orange glitter, or green. I think we did the orange ones last time, maybe orange and green. But I really love the purple in there. Look at that. That's going to look so good with that purple mesh. So you get 6 little spiders at Dollar Tree for $1. And these are so easy to just hot glue right onto your wreath wherever you want to put them. So we're gonna put little spiders in there. I love them. Found those. I bought some extra stuff. A lot of times I will overbuy, and that way I can pick and choose what I want to use. They also had some purple pumpkins, so we might stick a few little pumpkins in there. They're mainly purple, but down in the little grooves, they actually have some orange glitter. So we have 4 pumpkins, and those also came from Dollar Tree. They have the little Crafter's Square logo on there. That's a Dollar Tree brand. So we have those. I found these were cute. I thought I might stick a couple of these in there too. These kind of orange pumpkins with the spots on them. These just look fun to me. It doesn't have to be all purple. I mean, I think it actually makes it look better to mix in a little bit of another color in addition to that. So it's not just solid purple, which it's not going to be anyway, because see, we have this mesh here that has orange in it already. So we might add just a little bit more orange with that. And then I always add flowers to my wreath. I found these, well, not always, but usually I do. I found these purple flowers. These are from Dollar Tree as well. I looked for some about this color at Joann's, and they didn't really have any quite this color. So I picked up these little purple roses at Dollar Tree. And let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roses. So what I do is I take my little wire cutters, because this is a wire coated in plastic. I cut them off about right there, and I just hot glue them down into the wreath. Just boop, just wherever. So those are going to go in there too. And then the last thing, well, no, it's not the last thing, but a couple of things I got were these little berry picks. And in the store they looked more purple, which I mean they are kind of. But actually, now that I look at them, they're more like, almost like a midnight blue, but that's okay. I haven't used these before. I think I'm going to work this in, and I got also a couple of orange berry picks. So if you've never made a wreath before, I think this is a perfect time to start. I'm going to show you step by step what you do. There's really nothing to it. You just need some time. Now I will tell you, if I'm making a wreath not in a video, each wreath takes, with all the cut, there's a lot of cutting. You have to cut ribbon and stuff and put the bundles together. Each one takes probably 2.5 to 3 hours. But a lot of times, and this is what I like about it, you don't have to do it straight through. If you have to stop, just leave everything where it is, and you can come back to it. A lot of times I'll do it while I'm watching a movie or listening to a podcast or an audiobook or, something like that. Because it's something that you can do that once you have the basic technique down, you don't really have to focus on it that much. You don't have to concentrate on what you're doing. So it's fun, but you don't have to focus really hard on it. And you can listen to something or watch something at the same time. It's just a fun little thing to do, and then when you're done, you have a cool wreath that looks exactly the way you wanted it to look. You can add whatever decorations you want to it. You can make it as sparse or as crazy as you want it to look. There's no limit at all. Now in the middle, I thought, a lot of times we don't put anything in the middle of the wreath. I think we will this time though. I was looking at some of the hanging decorations at Dollar Tree, and I saw this one. I thought this was cute. Look at all that sparkle. It says beware in purple, and it has the little cat and the little jack-o'-lanterns on it. And this one's down at the bottom, you have this hanging piece that says beware of ghosts. I think what I'm going to do though, I think I'm just going to use this part. Like I'm going to take this, I'm going to remove this, and we will just put this, we're going to just glue this into the middle of the wreath. Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to include this. I think the one we made before had something hanging from the bottom of it, but I don't think I want to do that this time. I think I just want to use this part. So we're going to sort of nestle this into it. And I'm just going to hot glue it in there. All of the decorations are going to be hot glued onto the wreath. So for this wreath, I really only use 2 techniques. There are bunches of ways you can make wreaths with mesh. There are 2 that I really like. That is the starburst technique, which we're going to use for this one, mainly because with the starburst technique, if you have a ribbon of mesh like this, it's really going to show all of the colors better. There's also the roll technique, which I think we did with the last Halloween wreath. You're not going to, you'll still see the colors, but I don't know. I think the starburst technique just displays the colors a little better. Plus, it's gonna be a little fuller. It's gonna stick out more than the rolls. The rolls make tighter bundles than the starburst technique. But I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do all of it, and it's super easy. It really is. Don't be intimidated. It's not hard. I think sometimes we convince ourselves that we can't do things because when you just look at it and you try to take it all in at once, it looks like it's just too much. But, if you look at it just one step at a time, you realize, hey, you know what? I can do that. That's actually not too bad when you look at it, one step at a time. And when you do it, that's how you're going to do it. So don't be scared to try something don't be scared to try something new. I mean, whether it's a wreath or, a new job or whatever, don't let your doubts keep you from trying something new. It could change your life. It could totally change everything about your life just to try one new thing. You never know until you try. And that's what they say. It's absolutely true. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is start making bundles because that is the first step to this process. So let's get started. We now have everything ready to go to start making bundles. Now you're going to see that I've cut this ribbon into sections. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Oh, I love it. And I'm going to show you what I did to him. You see how we have this little bit of a nice little finish here on the ends? I did that with all of the widths of ribbon, even the little skinny ribbon, see? And both sides. That's called dovetailing, and I'm going to show you how to do it. That's what I do with all of my ribbon. And it takes a little bit of extra time, but I think it's worth it. I think it looks so much nicer in the wreath when it's done like that. So each of these pieces is around 9 inches. I mean, 9 inches approximately. It doesn't have to be exact. It really doesn't matter. So you have these pieces, and I'm going to show you how to do different widths of ribbon. It was the same for all of them. Isn't that pretty? I love that. So, all right, you just have your scissors, just any kind. It doesn't matter. You take your ribbon, no matter what width it is, no matter how wide. You fold it in half lengthwise, just this way. You line it up down here at the end. We're going to do this end first. And all you're going to do, you're just going to cut at an angle right here. That's it. Just cut right through that wire. And you're going to end up with a lot of little pieces. It's good to keep a little waste basket handy to put your little bits of trash in. There, so you see that? We could do the same on the other side. You fold it in half lengthwise like that. And all you're doing is just cutting off that corner right there. Just like that. It's very simple. Super simple. And then you just take another one. And I do every piece of ribbon this way. So it's a little time consuming, but I really think it looks so much nicer. Pick up the little pieces. There, look at that. I went with a lighter background this time, so because we had so much dark ribbon, I wanted you to be able to see what I was doing. So there. See? Very nice. Okay. You can even do it with the skinnier ribbon. And for this, I use my little Fiskars little scissors. I think these are a little easier to work with these smaller pieces of ribbon. So again, you just fold it in half. It's a little bit trickier trying to do the skinny ribbon, but after you do it for a while, you can do it with no problem. See? I just cut off that corner. And look at that. I think it just looks nicer once you cut the little dovetail into it like that. Boom, just like that. So there's that one. And with this 1.5 inch ribbon, you can use the little snips or you can use regular scissors. I mean, you can use regular scissors with the skinny ribbon too. I mean, if that's all you have, that will work just fine. I just find these to be a little bit easier to work with. And if you decide you want to start making wreaths more often, you can get a pair of these. I think I got these on Amazon for about $12. And I've been using this same pair for probably 3 years now. So they last. Okay. I've used them for many wreaths. All right. So what we've done is we're getting ready to make bundles. We've cut 2 pipe cleaners in half. We have a black one in this purplish color here. Like that. Now to make our bundles, look at how shiny that is. I was blown away by the shininess. I didn't think it was going to be quite that shiny, but look, I love it. To do the bundles in the starburst technique, we're going to be using, and again, these lengths are about 9 inches long. We're going to be using sections of the mesh. And we have 3 types. We have this type, the solid purple, and the solid black. You're going to grab these opposite corners right here. Give a little tug. Now you don't have to pull it hard. Hold that tension in it. Walk your fingers down. And then you're going to roll it together to make a little bow tie. So just like that. Now, you're going to hold on to this. You can use a clip or, whatever you want to do, a clothespin. Just you want to hold this together because if you let it go, it's going to lose the shape. For this wreath, for the bundles for this wreath, I think we're going to use 4 pieces of mesh per bundle. And the ribbon, of course. So again, you take a piece, you grab the opposite corners. You can just tug on them a little bit. You don't want to handle the mesh too much. Make your little bow tie. Lay it on top. You're holding it together. You're not going to let it go. Here's some of that pretty purple. Look at that. And the black is very sparkly too. And I tell you, when the sun hits this, like I'm going to put it on my front door. When the sun hits that, oh, it really shines. 1, 2, 3. And you can combine and mix your colors any way you want. You could do each bundle in just one color if you want. You can do this any way. There are no rules. You're only limited by your imagination. Like that. Now, I'm going to take some of my wide ribbon, 1 piece of wide ribbon, and put it on top. And I mix and match my ribbon. Take a piece of the skinny ribbon, put it on top there. You're going to take a pipe cleaner, and you lay it across the bundle perpendicularly. And then you take the ends of the pipe cleaner, bend them down. You're holding on to this, fold everything in half, grab it like this, you're not going to hurt it. Kind of line up the pipe cleaners halfway. Give it 3 twists. This is going to be the underside of the bundle. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. That is your first bundle. You have your mesh and your ribbon all tied up with the half of a pipe cleaner. So that's one. Let's do another one. So you take your mesh, pull it, grab the opposite corners, pull it a little bit. You roll it together in a little bow tie. And you don't have to do 4 pieces of mesh. If you want to do 3 or 5, it's okay. You don't have to do it any certain way. If I use Dollar Tree mesh, typically I use more pieces because it's a thinner mesh. This mesh is a little bit more stiff and it stands out more. Sometimes with this mesh, it's hard to do more than 4 pieces in a bundle because it's so thick, you know. This time I want to use this ribbon. And on top, and I'm going to use what I believe is a glow-in-the-dark. It may not be. I think this is a glow-in-the-dark ribbon. And I'm just alternating purple and black pipe cleaners. So you lay it across perpendicularly. Fold it in half. 1, 2, 3. And you let it go. That's your second bundle. Now I'm going to show you how to attach these to a wreath form. You're going to take your wreath form. Now I have it upside down. This is the concave side. So this is going to be the back side of the wreath form. Typically when I'm adding my bundles, I'm looking at the back of the wreath form most of that time. So here's one of them. You're going to lay it up under there. So it's facing the way it's going to go. Now we have 4 wires, but we're only going to use the middle 2 right here. So you take the 2 ends of the pipe cleaner and you're just going to straddle these 2 wires and then twist them together. You can twist them as many times as you want, and I take the end there and just tuck it under so it's not sticking out. And then you just kind of adjust it around where you want it. And you just keep adding your bundles. What I do is I'll make a whole bunch of bundles and then add them to the wreath form all at once. Tuck it under, twist it, and you can slide them around on here too. Of course, as you add bundles, it's going to get tighter and tighter. We flip it over, and here you can see what they look like. They don't look like much right now. They kind of flop around on there and look kind of sad. But I'm going to keep making bundles, and I'm going to add them all the way around this wreath form. And when we come back, we'll see what it looks like with all the bundles added. Okay, we are back. I got so excited when I was getting ready to start this wreath. I forgot my earrings, and I didn't realize it until later. I was just so excited to get started. I've started getting all my Halloween decorations ready to be put out. I'm just waiting for October 1st. I'm not quite ready. I don't want to do it yet. Just give it a few more days. But I got all the bundles done. See, I added my earrings. They kind of look like spider webs to me, but it's actually just a fancy design of some sort. I got all the bundles done. Look at this. Now we haven't added the decorations yet. That comes next. I love it. I love it. Now, I love a lot of ribbon in my wreaths. Of course, you can add as much or as little as you prefer. You could just leave the ribbon out if you want. I love a lot of ribbon in mine. See? It has a lot of purple, a lot of black, a little bit of orange peeking through here and there, but not as much as the purple and the black. I just think that's cool. And on the back, you can see I have you can't even really see them. They kind of blend in. The purple and the black pipe cleaners holding the bundles together, going all the way around. Yes, so see, it's quite large. It's a lot bigger than that frame. You see, you can see the size of the frame, and it sticks out on either side, all the way around. I'm very happy with it. I think this is going to look good. I'm kind of glad now I didn't buy a wreath. I think this is going to be cool. So now, of course, we're going to be adding in. I'm going to work this down into the mesh, and I'm going to hot glue a little beware sign in there. We've got our pumpkins, we've got our spiders, we've got our flowers, and like I mentioned, I'm going to be cutting these and then just sort of hot gluing them into the wreath. And all of our little bits and baubles, and we're going to add everything in, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like completely finished. Alright, I finally got all the decorations added to it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't find one to buy because I think this one turned out nice. There we go. Look, I added the little beware sign to it. We have little pumpkins here and there. we have, you have to look for the balls. They're kind of tucked down in there like this. A little, there's the purple pumpkin. There's one. And we have the little flowers. There's some orange balls over there. But I think it turned out okay. I'm pretty happy with it. See? Yeah, and then we have some flowers up here. The spiders are kind of tucked down in there, but you kind of have to look for them because there's one, they kind of blend in with everything else. They don't really stand out all that much, and they're kind of small. And I mean, you notice other things first, but there's one. He's up next to the pumpkin. So there it is. My Halloween wreath for this year at least. A lot of times I make these and just give them away. But I think I'll keep this one. I'm going to put this out for Halloween this year. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed seeing this wreath come into being. I really enjoyed doing it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.